Once again, I would like to welcome everyone to the second class of 3D modeling. So in this class, we will try to apply the knowledge so far what we have learned for 2D sketch. So this class is all about 2D sketch, and we will be sketching different kinds of 2D sketch. As usual, I'm using DS Solidworks 2018 as our 3D modeling platform. So let's get started. At first, let's choose the file, new, and we are designing a part. Okay, so what are we gonna sketch today? Let's look at our sketch file. I'll try to enlarge it for you guys. Okay, so this is the sketch that we need to do today. So if you look at this sketch, you can see that this is the origin or origin point, and from the origin there's a circle, and you can say this is an arc or maybe a half circle, and then we have some fillets over here. If you zoom into the picture, you can see it, and then there are some dimensions given. So it's like a platform here, and then there's a round shape. So let's start with the sketch first. So first thing first, let us check our dimension. It's millimeter gram second system as usual, and then we will choose our plane, which was right plane. Let's make the view orientation normal so that we can do our sketch. Okay, so now let's look at the sketch. So the circle that we have has a diameter of 60 millimeter, not radius. This sign denotes diameter, and this R denotes radius. So the diameter of the circle is 60 millimeter. Okay, let's draw the circle first. Okay, so the circle is drawn. Let's fix the dimension. Okay, the dimension is 60 millimeter. Okay, so this is our dimension, 60 millimeter. Okay, now if we look closely in the sketch, sorry for that, if we look closely in our sketch, we can see that we have an arc or maybe a half circle of 90 millimeter. The diameter of that half circle is 90 millimeter. Okay, so let's draw the circle. Let's set the dimension. So our dimension for this circle, the diameter is 90 millimeter. Let's put 90 millimeter. Okay, so according to the design, according to the sketch that has been provided to us, if we have a circle that is 60 millimeter, the diameter is 60 millimeter, and then we have another half circle that has a diameter of 60 millimeter. Okay, now as we look at the design, we look at closely, we can see that we have two lines here, and the length of the line from the ground is 70. So if we just need to draw till this, because there's a fillet there. So from here till this point, the length should be 50, because from here till this point is 20, as you can see in the sketch. So from here till this point it should be 50, because 70 minus 20 is equals to 50. It's an easy calculation. Okay, let's draw a line. So now when you are about to draw the lines, you must know that you have to draw them from the center. It should be corresponding to the center of the circles. Okay, so we constructed two lines. Okay, so let's put the dimension as we calculated before. 70 minus this 20 is equals to 50. So the length of these lines would be 50 millimeter. So as you can see in the sketch that is provided, you can see feels like this circle is a part of this line, or this line is coincident to the circles. So we have to make relation here. Okay, so go to add relation, select this line and the circle, make them tangent. Okay, and we have to do it for this line as well. Select this line. Oh, it's been selected from before. We have to start. Okay, add relation, and then we select this line, this circle, and we select the relation tangent. Okay, so as you can see that the relation tangent means this line is gonna touch the circle. Okay, so now let's look at that sketch again. So we have sketch till this. So now if we look closely, that in this side we have a fillet here, and then we have one more fillet here, but before this fillet was drawn, so it was a straight line. So this line is actually connected to this line, and then there is one more line here, and then there is one more line here, and the length of this line we can calculate from here. So how do we make the calculation? It's easy. Okay, so as for the circle, this circle, you can see the diameter is 90. Okay, so so the radius of this circle would be 45. So that means from here to here till here it's 45. Okay, now we are given that from here to here the length is 25, but the overall length is 250. From here to here is 45. As both of the sides are symmetrical, so from this point till this point it should be 125. So if we minus 125, if we minus 45 from, that is the length from here to here, if we minus 45 from 125, So we get the length of this, we will get the length of this line actually. Okay, so what is, let's draw the line first. Let's put the dimension. So it is 125 minus 45, that is 80. Okay, is because from the radius of this big circle is 45 millimeter and the overall length is 250, so half of 250 is 125. Okay, then we minus the radius of this circle from 125 and we get the value 80. Okay, let's put the dimension here, and now uh, from here to here it's 20 millimeter the length. Okay, let's draw it. So let's put the dimension, it's 20 millimeter, and if we look at the picture, the length from here to this point is 25. Okay, so we need the same sketch on this side as well. So what are we gonna do is basically uh, we can mirror the whole thing. So to mirror it, we need a center line or an axis where we can refer to or mirror about. Okay, so we made the axis there. Now what are we gonna do is we will complete the sketch in this side and then we will mirror on the other side. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now what do we have? We have a 3 millimeter, we have a 3 millimeter of base here. Okay, so now we will make a 3 millimeter, select line. Okay, it's very tiny, 3 millimeter, but by zooming it you can see it easily. This is what, okay, 3 millimeter. Now by looking at the image we get that we have the line goes directly to the center point. Okay, so we have a line here. As we already drew the axis, so it's gonna be easy for us. We will just I think the line is not straight. Let's make it easy. Let's remove this dimension from here so we can see it easily. Okay, make it in position. Okay, so you can see that this line is gonna touch here. Let's construct the line because Solidworks gives a preview of the time. Okay, so we are done for this portion. Now what are we gonna do is mirror this portion to the other portion. Okay, so for this thing what do we need? We need mirror entities. Go to mirror entities and then we select entities to mirror. Okay, this line is already selected. We have to select this line as well. This line, this line, this line. Okay, okay, everything is selected. Now select mirror about, choose the axis. Now you can get a preview that it's already constructed there. So this is what we need. Okay, so you can see that item is unsolved, item contact. So let's try to solve the issue here. You put Ctrl Z. Okay, so we will just delete this dimension for now. Okay, then try to mirror it. Okay, mirror about. Okay, so as you can see, for the dimension here. Okay, the problem is we didn't mirror that tiny 3 millimeter. We have to mirror that. So let's go to mirror entities. Let's select this tiny 3 millimeter and let's select axis. Now you can see that it's being mirrored. Okay, okay, so the sketch kinda looks like this. Okay, but now as you can see here, there's a radius given. So the radius is for the fillet, but the fillet radius is 4 millimeter, but I don't think it looks good. I will try to put a better millimeter for the fillet. Let's see what we can do. As you can see in the picture, only this fillet has the radius value. None of the other fillet is given radius value. It means that you have to take it as a reference, that this is the reference and this is the ideal value for the fillet in the whole sketch. Okay, so let's go to fillet. There is here sketch fillet. Okay, choose these two lines. Okay, so 10 millimeter. Okay, no, will not go for 10 millimeter. Just put 7. Yeah, looks good. Okay, now let's make fillet here as well because we have fillet there. Okay, we have fillet here as well. Okay, we have to make fillet in these sections as well. Okay. Okay, so this is what we need, the fillet. Okay, so far the design is already made. Everything kinda looks the same as the sketch we have been provided. So now the only thing that we need to do is we trim it. It is a half circle in the sketch. And then do you have anything additional? No. Okay, so we go to trim entities. we trim this portion, trim this portion of the circle as well. And in the sketch there is no center line. Okay, so we select the center line as well, trim it, trim the whole portion. Okay, accidentally trim some portion. Click the same trim entities. Okay, select it. Okay, so the trim is done. But as you can see, even after the trim there is an extra portion. These are the lines for the dimension denotation, but this line is actually a part of this line. So let's try to trim it. So you have to be careful and look at the sketch again and again so that you don't have any extra portion or anything. Okay, so let's go to trim entities. Our trim is already selected. Okay, let's see, can we trim this line? No, because this is the borderline for the dimensioning. Okay, so now let's look at the sketch and let's look at our design. So we compare it. Okay, the dimension for the circle is there, the inside circle is there. So what we don't have is the dimension for this two. Okay, so we put the dimension for this one, and this one is 200. Okay, now it should be 25. Okay, so we compare with the sketch. Yeah, 25, 25, 20, 50 from here to here. It's 20, 90, 60. The circle. Okay, so this is our 2D design for the sketch that is given. So after finishing this design, just save it by pressing Ctrl plus S. Please save it because we are going to use this design. So now we will start doing another sketch. So this is the sketch that we are going to build. So for this sketch, as you can see, we have a circle around the origin point, and then we have an arc just outer of the circle. So, but we will build this arc by using a circle. So at first, the diameter for this inner circle is 12 millimeter, and the diameter for this outer circle is 20 millimeter. Okay, so let's draw the circles first. One is an outer circle, another one is an inner circle. Okay, let's choose the dimension. This is 20 millimeter, and the inner circle, it's so the inner circle was bigger than that, that's why we have to make it small. So this is 12 millimeter. Okay, so we have a circle that has a diameter of 12 millimeter and 20 millimeter. Okay, let's look at the sketch again. Okay, by looking at the sketch we can see that we have to construct a line that is 50.2 centimeter 27 millimeter long. So you can see here the length is 50.27 millimeter. Okay, let's build an axis from that. So let's choose center line. Okay, let's choose 50.27 millimeter as the length of the line. Okay, so now we go to the sketch again, and in the sketch we can see the total length of this is is 60 millimeter, and then we have a 20 millimeter here, and then we have a 20 millimeter line here, so in total 40 millimeter. So the total distance from here to here is 20 millimeter, as our axis is here. So from this point to this point the distance will be 10 millimeter. Okay, so at first, as the whole length is 50.27 millimeter, okay, so our first goal would be to take a line here that is 20 millimeter long. Okay, I'll choose it as 20 millimeter. Then we have to go 10 millimeter. Yeah, as mentioned before, from here to here the length is 10 millimeter. Okay, choose 10 millimeter. Okay, then again 20 millimeter. Go to smart dimension and make it 20. It's already 20. Okay, so then from this distance to this distance it's 20 millimeter. Okay, dimension. So this is 20 millimeter. Okay, go to sketch again. Then we have another line, and there is also 20 millimeter. Let's check the dimension. So now we are almost half done, because we already constructed this line, that is our this line, and then this line is our this line, and then this line as well. So now what I need to do is to connect, to draw this line to this line, this line to this circle. Okay, so let's draw a line here in the circle. But now I need you to focus, because the line that I just draw to the circle, I want this line to be tangent to this circle. So at first I will add the tangent relation between this line and the circle. So this line is already chosen, and then this circle, choose this circle as well. Okay, now you can see Solidworks is showing you that the circle and this line can be in tangent relation. Okay, So the purpose of choosing this line to be tangent with the circle, it's because so the line can touch the circle at any place of the circle. So we are almost half done. Now what we need to do is we need to choose our mirror entity. No, not this one. Okay, choose mirror entity. Okay, so now choose the entities that you want to mirror. Look at the design here. So we have to mirror this line, and this line, because we have the same thing on the other side. Okay, so choose this line here and this line as well, this line and this line. Okay, and mirror above this. Okay, you can see the preview there, and it's also constructed. Now the first thing you need to do is, these are two extra parts that I built for the dimensioning. So what I will do is I will try to trim them. Okay, I will trim this part as well. Okay, so now it looks a bit similar. Okay, now it looks a bit similar to the sketch. It looks a bit similar to the sketch. Okay, so what we are left with this circle here, but at first I need to check that this line and this circle is in tangent relation, because when I trim this, so it's gonna be that will look like the same line. So go to add relation. Okay, click this line and click this circle. There is no relation between them, so let's just add a relation, that is tangent. Okay, so we are done. So now look at the design here. So there is no circle here, so we have to trim this part. Choose trim entities. Power trim is already chosen. Trim this part and trim this part as well. And okay, so we are almost done with this design. So what is left is this half circle here, so we have to construct the circle. So when you are constructing the circle, remember one thing, that you must draw the circle. So you have to draw the circle from the midpoint of these 2 points. If there was a line and there was a midpoint, we have to draw the circle from that midpoint. Okay, let's choose the circle. Okay, so now you can see that it's from the origin. Okay, so just draw the circle here. Choose the circle again, and yeah. Okay, so the circle is constructed. Okay, but now we have to add a relation to the circle. Add relation, because you can see here it doesn't look like a circle, it's an arc, and they all look like the same line. So You have to add a relation there. Okay, so the relation will be coincident. So we already chose this circle, and we go to add relation, choose the circle. Okay, and then this point. Okay, I want to make them coincident. Okay, and then I want to add one more relation with this point and this. You can see three things are chosen, so we have to click S and then go to add relation, choose the circle and choose this point coincident. Okay. So from the sketch we can see that this is almost like this. Okay, so we don't need this part, we have to trim this out. Choose trim entities and trim it. Okay, so we are almost done with the design, but then if we look closely we can see some fillets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Four kinds of fillet. Four fillets. Actually, not four kinds of fillet. We have 4 fillets. So we have to build the fillet as well. So go to fillet, sketch fillet. Choose this line and this line, and the fillet diameter is 4 millimeter. That is given. Choose 4 millimeter. Okay. Now choose the lines where you need the fillet. Okay. So as you can see, the fillet is constructed and it's 4 millimeter. Okay. So now we have two circles here, and there is in a 10 millimeter distance, and both of the circles are 6 millimeter. Okay. So now we go to the circles. Okay. Diameter is 6 millimeter. Okay. So the easiest thing that you can do without drawing a circle is you go to linear sketch pattern, choose linear sketch pattern, choose 1 or 2. Okay. Now look at the distance here. It's 10 millimeter. Okay. There's nothing constructed because we didn't choose anything here. So go to linear sketch pattern again. Okay. Choose this surface. Okay. So you can see it's already constructed and the spacing is 10 millimeter. Okay. And it's the same circle as this one. So let's discover something else. We have sketch chamfer as well. So let's see what does it do. Yes. So you can see fillet makes lines curvy, and sketch chamfer makes it bendy, like makes the line bended. So this is the new tool I'm introducing you, sketch chamfer. Okay, so we're almost done. Just clean it a bit. Okay. Yes. This was our sketch, but there was no chamfer here. We just added a chamfer, and then the design looks like this. Okay, so I have already explained about almost all the sketch tools. I have talked about the trim entities, mirror entities, linear sketch pattern, sketch fillet. So you must practice both of the sketches, and you must be very good in 2D sketch so that you can easily model your 3D design. Without completing the 2D sketch classes, you must not go for the 2D to 3D conversion and the next classes, because if you are not good with your 2D sketch, you cannot model your 3D design perfectly. So to be very good with a 2D sketch, uh, to be very good in 3D modeling, you must know how to do 2D sketch, because you know, I will show you something. What is 3D modeling? Like how to convert this design into 3D. You just go to feature, extruded boss or by base, and just click it. I will not explain anything. So you can see your 2D sketch just converted into 3D. This is what it is, and you can see you sketch there as well. So what am I telling you is, if you are not good enough in your 2D sketch, you can never be good enough in 3D modeling. The basic is 2D sketch. Everything we draw in 3D modeling, everything, all the prototypes, whatever we draw, we start from the 2D sketch. So must be very good in your 2D sketch. After you finish your 2D sketch, you can easily do the 3D sketch. So as I said before, please save this file as well. We are gonna use it in our next class. Okay, just control